Ladies and gents, my best wishes for the 74th Republic Day. The budget for 2023-24 will be shortly out. It is being keenly awaited because it will be the last full budget of the present NDA government. Naturally, the finance minister might very well aim to accelerate economic reforms, even to chart a path-breaking new course in some areas. Since time is short, I can only briefly discuss four major areas which bear on our overall growth and to which government might allocate more funds. The recent policy decisions of the government indicate one overarching objective: to make India the world's third largest economy with a GDP of 5 trillion in the next 4 years, that is by 2026-27. This can be easily attained if even the present GDP growth rate of about 7 to 8% is maintained. Here are things government might do to attain this object. Mind you, 5 trillion economy in the next 4 years. First, increased borrowing. To start with, government might borrow a record sum of 16 lakh crore equal to $198 billion during financial year 2023, that is the coming year. This is to spur growth in various sectors, especially infrastructure. It is essential if India is to fulfill its ambition of becoming an alternative to China as the world's factory. Government might also cut food and fertilizer subsidies down to rupees 3.7 lakh crore. This will provide government with additional money for ensuring growth. PLI. First, there might be a further big outlay for Production Linked Scheme or PLI. It was launched in March 2020 to offset the economic slowdown during the pandemic. Initially, it covered the pharma sector to boost production of pharma products and medical devices. But by the end of the year, it was expanded to cover 14 sectors, offering incentives of rupees 1.97 lakh crores, that is nearly rupees 2 lakh crores. These sectors included automobiles and auto components, textiles, food products, textiles, solar PV modules, electronics, especially mobiles and IT hardware, as also specialty steel. Later, an additional budget outlay of rupees 0.7 lakh crores, that is nearly 1 lakh crores or $10 billion, was assigned for the PLI in semiconductor manufacturing. This is a new area and a very important one. During the budget speech in 2022, the finance minister stated that PLI, this is important, the finance minister stated PLI scheme has the potential to create 60 lakh new jobs, 6 million, and with an additional manufacturing capacity of 30 lakh crores can be added to the national economy during next 5 years, 30 lakh crores through PLI. Under this scheme, direct cash incentives of 4 to 6% are offered on incremental sale of products. The overall objective is to improve supply chains in India and make domestic manufacturing globally competitive in quality. It will also reduce our import bills while providing a huge boost to exports. The government's long-term aim is to reduce imports by over 30% gradually. Considering the excellent response to this scheme, India might succeed in its China Plus One strategy. Presently, Chinese economy has slowed down because of the pandemic. Moreover, many Western countries have imposed anti-dumping duties on Chinese goods, thus slashing its exports. The rupee depreciation against yuan has also helped India become more competitive globally. Thus, this scheme might very well prove to be a game changer. Certainly, its expansion is among the most sought-after demands of private industries and states. Government is also considering allocating more funds under the PLI to leather goods, toys and some other areas of manufacturing. This might be reflected in Budget 2023. For registration of manufacturing companies has shot up fast, especially since 2020. Indeed, the number is already 10 times higher than what it was 7 years back in 2015. And electronics sector like mobile phones, IT hardware, engineering goods, food products have shown significantly higher production and sales during FY22 and FY23 so far. Credit Suisse, an international agency from Switzerland, estimates that in the next few years, the scheme might boost exports by $144 billion across 13 sectors and add 1.7% to GDP by FY 2027. So we can see how important it is. Second sector, renewable energy. Secondly, India is working hard to increase its renewable energy sources. No wonder there was an additional outlay of rupees 19,500 crores for solar PLI scheme. The country has set an ambitious target of reducing carbon emissions by 45% by 2030 and to get 50% of its power from such sources. Mind you, by 2030, the government will use 50% of energy from green sources. And so far, our government has made progress in this sector and it has been remarkable. India is already the third largest producer of renewable energy, just behind USA and China. Mind you, we are the third largest producer of renewable energy, just behind US and China. The installed energy capacity is more than doubled in just 8 years, from 76 gigawatt in 2014 to 160 gigawatt in 2022. This is already 40% of India's total power capacity of 408 gigawatt. So mind you, we are already producing 40% of energy from renewable sources. Its potential is fast turning India into an attractive destination for FDI. The country received an FDI of $13 billion till now, and the target is to attract another $10 billion during FY 2023, that is the coming year. Overall, over $80 billion has been invested in the sector so far, which indicates its importance for future. Government has also issued green bonds to mobilize additional resources for producing green energy. Next sector, third, electrification of transport. Thirdly, there is increasing focus on providing eco-friendly transportation on highways and railway tracks, and the country is moving fast towards its goal of 100% electrification of its broad gauge tracks. During FY 22-23, that is the current year, so far 4,100 kilometers of tracks have been electrified. With this, 83% of railway tracks have been electrified, and we are one step closer to reaching zero carbon emission in railways by 2030. Moreover, while till now 8 Vande Bharat trains have been started, the objective is to launch 500 such trains on tracks in the next few years. These trains are faster and more comfortable. 500 trains, which means billions of dollars. Building and operating such a large number of trains will require a huge outlay of capital. Remaining electrification will also need more money. Budget 2023 might very well allocate more funds for this sector of transport. Government is equally keen to make India a major auto hub for EVs, that is electrical vehicles. At present, USA and China are the world leaders in this field. China has taken a huge strides in developing the EV industry. It has made major developments in battery manufacturing, charging infrastructure, and newer EV variants. And since it is now producing EVs on a mass scale, its EV models are relatively cheap and affordable. India is still to develop this segment of auto industry. The government knows the potential for development here and has introduced many schemes and incentives in the last 2 budgets to boost demand for EVs. In April 2019, government had made an outlay of rupees 10,000 crore to support production of 5 lakh e-3-wheelers, that is electric 3-wheelers, 7,000 electric buses, 55,000 electric cars, and 1 million electric 2-wheelers. The scheme will continue till 2024 and is likely to get an increased outlay. Through maximum electrification in rail and road transport, government will achieve 2 major objectives. First, it will contribute substantially to reducing carbon emissions. Second, it will save millions of dollars in import of oil. IT sector. Finally, India has already become one of the major service providers globally in the IT sector. This has come about because government has invested heavily in developing software technology parks. The results have been encouraging for exports from this sector, and by now over 6 lakh crores. Government has also been developing special economic zones since 2006 for incentivizing exports with good results. For exports from IT sector amounted to another 6 lakh crore. Moreover, through its national policy on software product initiated in 2019, the government aims to create 35 lakh jobs by 2025. Additionally, Startup India, launched 6 years back, has also been a huge success in the country. Already have the third largest startup ecosystem in the world, for we have 60,000 startups operating in the country, of which over 100 are unicorns. So this sector might also receive some financial support. Overall, budget 2023 is expected to keep the Indian Express running on the fast track, leading to speedy growth in all sectors. If you have liked this talk, please subscribe. Thank you.